everyone, my name is SaintSyk, and happy holidays! Look, I have a Christmas hat, because it's Christmas Eve here in the Magia Records, and so, welcome to the very first track, and us recapping the very first episode of Magia Record. Honestly, this was pretty exciting. It's been a long time in the running, and it's finally here, so let's just dive right in.
The Magia Records. Album 2. Track 1. Did you hear that rumor? About the magical girls?
Now, right out of the gate, obviously I have my expectations going on, and I gotta say, I was pretty worried. I was really worried this first episode would be the introduction in a long line of myths. But I gotta say, we had a pretty strong start here. And I like to say that they didn't forget their roots. I was able to notice and pick up a lot of things where I was like, oh yeah, okay. So, we're still on the right path, we're remembering where we came from. We haven't completely lost the sauce yet. And so, I was quite surprised about that. I mean, in just those initial scenes, I'm sitting there and I'm like, ooh, look at these graphics though. Look at these graphics. Was this made on the PS5? The PS5 only plays Netflix. How did they do this? You like my donkey impression? But yeah, so first off, I could instantly notice the quality and animation spike upward, which was quite nice. Going straight into the city that we're introduced to, you can see that it's overgrown and seemingly desolate. Immediately I was like, oh come on. Name one franchise with a ruined city that wasn't peak. Nier Automata? Nier Automata was in the Olympics! That's how good they were. That's a real thing, by the way. You can look that up. And so, immediately, I'm getting those Nier vibes, man. I can't confess enough how much I just love the overgrown, ruined city-looking archetype. I mean, they even made a Kirby game with that. Did you play that one, Kirby Forgotten Land? I played that one. I beat that one. That was a good game. So right out the gate, I'm like, oh, okay. We're a little slick. We're a little slick right now. And then as they start talking, it hits. That one track. You know the track. You know the track. I can't show it because it's copyrighted, and I tried showing it in one of the other videos, and YouTube got mad at me, so I had to change it. But you know the one, it goes like... Amazing. So, right out the gate? Not too many complaints. Also, was Cubase the one doing the voiceover for, the narrator? Because as I was watching, I noticed that Cubase doesn't really sound like Cubase. He sounds like someone trying to sound like Cubase, but the first person just sounds like Cubase. It sounds like Cubase trying to not sound like he's Cubase.
Hey, have you heard? There's this rumor. It's about magical girls.
Oh, that again? Like I told you the last time, I don't really know much.
Did anyone else feel that way? It was really weird. And then I saw her. Oh my god! We're really back! It's her, you guys! I couldn't believe it! As soon as I heard her not say a single word for the first 5 minutes for some reason, I couldn't believe it. She's back! It's Madoka! She's right there! Oh my god! Ah! Ah! We're so back, guys! We're so back! Oh, maybe I was wrong. Now that's lunacy. That couldn't be right. And look, guys, it's just like her bed, except it's split in half for no reason. I really love that trope in media where it's one of the twins or one of the siblings goes away, so just half the room becomes completely vacant. For reals? I get it, man, you're grieving and whatever, but yo, there's an entire half a room over there. You're really gonna confine yourself to the other 50%? Also, just how weird that looks, and they do it all the time. It's just one half of the room, just like full of stuff, and then you go on to the other half, and it's just like completely empty. Anyway, and look, it's her mom and her dad, and is that a Magica stone passport? Wow, the microtransactions run deep. The cup runneth over with greed, really. Boy, oh boy. Welcome to Takarazaki City. I hope I said that right. This is not Mitakihara City, and things are a little different, obviously. I mean, obviously it's supposed to be some sort of, parallel. Things aren't identical, we're not in Mitakihara anymore. We're in Takazari. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We're in a different city. And this is a bit of a different Madoka. I mean, just look at the way she wears her hair. It has braids in it now. And, instead of a bow, she has a crossbow. And somehow their futuristic city with desks that fold into the floor and have holograms around them seem even more futuristic now. Now their bus stations have holograms. Neat! It's like we're in Overwatch, guys. This is crazy. But why does everything look so dystopian if everything's also so futuristic? How's everything so overgrown when it's also consumed by technology? Well,
I don't know.
I don't really know yet. That's the perk of being on the first episode. I get to learn with. Now, following Madoka into school here, we can see that she maintains her timid personality. Not really talking to anybody, and just sort of staying silent. I mean, for the first solid 5 minutes, she doesn't say anything. Now, we finally get to see one of our first witches, and I gotta say, the design's okay. I feel like the witches from Madoka Magica were a bit stronger in their zany and scrapbooky look. They kind of look like something you would imagine a serial killer note to look like, and I really like that about them. This one was more just animated, and I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but the first witch is a big deal, man. Come on, we could have tried a bit harder. Whatever. And so, Madoka says her first words, and
A wish, maybe?
who the
Nah.
you? Who is this? You're a fraud! You're not even Madoka! Who is this? Apparently the show doesn't even know who she is either, because, they say her name wrong, 5 different times. I'm not even lying. Every single character says her name differently. I wrote it down. No one knows our record.
Nah.
No one knows our name! Iroha, Irohai, Irohai, Iroha, Iroha. Not even they know how to say her name. Not even they know who she is. I literally wrote down each time that they say her name differently, because I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna need to know how to say her name, because, I'm Mr. Magia. Of course I'm gonna know how to say her name. But they don't even know how to say her name. I still don't know what it is! So, from now on, welcome, not Madoka. I don't know her name, and it doesn't matter. She's just not Madoka. So, as we follow not Madoka, she's a magical girl. And what's interesting about the start here is they seem to almost be idolizing becoming one. I mean, they give us a little pseudo recap here where it's oh, you make a wish with a white fairy and he turns you into a magical girl and you have to go and fight the witches. I wish I could be a magical girl. Then I could be in love forever. And I could be thin. That's actually some of the dialogue that's said. Not in that voice, but it's in Kyubei's voice, but they really do say that. So, as we're going, there seems to be a little bit of a shift. It's almost like we're back to square one. Magical girls are still cool and not death sentences. Until, well, now they're death sentences. When Madoka's friend, not Homura, except she's not the true not Homura, I just don't know her name, because they didn't say it enough, because she is so side-charactered in this episode, and all I can really go off of is she kind of looks like Homer. She even has the red bow from the end of the show. Whatever. As they're going on the train, there's actually some signs that say to be hush-hush about being a magical girl. Clearly they want to keep their sort of, pseudo-society still under wraps. They don't want the general public to know about witches or Cube or making these contracts. And for good reason, too. It's most likely to protect them. I mean, if you became a magical girl and realized the hell you'd have to face, you wouldn't exactly want to tell everyone because they'd get the wrong idea. I mean, even at the start, it showed exactly that, people getting the wrong idea. Now, as we follow along, not Madoka's a bit of a loner, whatever, but her friend is talking about a dream she had. Apparently a dream that's been spreading like wildfire around magical girls.
City, it seems magical girls can be saved.
What do you mean? What would we have to be saved from?
Now, as they're on the train to go home, she confesses that this dream is about magical girls being able to be saved. But because this dream is spreading, someone's also spreading the word of being magical girls.
Kuroi, who did you hear this from?
Everyone talks about the rumor.
Rumor? So someone's been going around and saying that magical girls can be saved if they go to Kamihama City? I think I'd take that with a grain of salt.
A girl had a dream about it.
A single dream turned into all that?
Well, actually, a lot of girls have had the same dream.
Thus the title of the episode being, Have You Heard That Rumor About Magical Girls? What's interesting about this to me is that someone wants it to be public information. Now, I feel it's whoever is spreading this, most likely a magical girl, wanting to draw out others into one specific point. The dream goes somewhat like this.
This little girl appears in front of you and she says, Come to Kamihama. If you get there, you can be saved from all this.
So everyone, do you really believe that?
I believe it because I saw it.
Now, glancing over my notes here and looking at some talking points, Iroha, aka not Madoka, has a lot of similarities to Madoka herself. I mean, her room, her look, and honestly, kind of her personality, too. She's what I would argue is a good magical girl. Someone who's wholly good, wanting to defeat, familiars and witches to keep people safe. She doesn't prioritize getting grief seeds, she simply sees it as a benefit of the job. Unlike someone like Kyoko, who sees them as the sole purpose of her job. Now, after her parents leave on a business trip, it actually opens up some dialogue to us. Not Madoka has refused some interesting possibilities in her life. Clearly, she's making being a magical girl her entire priority. That over living her actual life. She's choosing to stay in Takezara City over what's essentially her future. Or maybe she knows that she won't really have one. Now, 6 minutes in, there he is. The guy! Cube! My god. Track 3's about him. You can look forward to that. It's coming, I promise. It really is. Now, for all of you who've played Magia Record, all 12 of you, I have to say, damn, the plots are exactly the same. I mean, dude, Artorias is just literally not Madoka. So the plot goes as follows, we follow not Madoka, oh, she's a magical girl in this city, her parents are leaving, this gives her the opportunity to do more magical stuff, but there's a problem, she can't remember her wish. Guys, what did we wish for? Cube, what did I wish for? Oh, I can't reveal it to you because maybe that's what you wished for. And that's is that not exactly the same plot, 1-to-1? Please, bro, please just pass the pen to Gen already, bro. Gen, please come back. Thank God he's back for the movie, man. These MFs don't know how to write. Something I feel like I was catching on to is the VAs just sound older.
That's amazing. I'm so jealous.
You could stay up on your phone all night.
And eat whatever you want.
So you don't have a curfew or anything?
I'm Kyoko Sakura. Pleased to meet ya.
Oh,
Oh,
Something you just remembered?
I'm totally supposed to be on cleaning duty today, but I've got something to do. Someone, pretty please cover for me?
Really? Didn't you do this last time too?
That was completely different. I had an emergency and couldn't help it.
Like, in Madoka Magica, they sound, you know, pretty high voice, pretty young, pretty innocent, at least in my opinion. But here in Record, they sound more mature. I don't know if this is just them not being good voice actors, or if they're intentionally trying to sound older because maybe it's a different city, or maybe they are actually older. I don't know, I'm not looking it up. Cry about it. But I did just notice that if they come to Kamihama City, that they can be saved. That Kamihama City is a place with no witches. Essentially, you can free yourself there of all your magical girl responsibilities. You can find salvation in Kamehameha City. Kamehameha. Kamehameha. I don't really know if this is real or not, but it just kind of sounds like the plot of One Piece. Guys, we need to go find the city, the lost city. Isn't this also the plot of that one SpongeBob movie? Yeah, whatever. So, as they're talking on the train, they get attacked by the same witch at the start? Sure. But as we're going, I really had to sit back and go like, oh, these graphics though. Oh, these are kind of nice though. That's kind of slick though. There's a point where Madoka gets lifted into the air, and we're like over the clouds in the sun, and I really sat there and I audibly went, wow. So I was like, damn, that's kind of slick, that's kind of nice. I kind of like that. Now, they actually get pulled all the way to Kamihama City, which is completely not what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to spend the entire show trying to find it, but no, we're just here now. And then we actually see a proper witch. I mean, look at this labyrinth. Come on, look at that. This is the type of witches we know and love, people. I mean, just look at that. They still got it. We remember our roots. We still know what we're doing. Holy shit, what is that?
Only meant for one, but who shall I tell them just to you? Take another.
Baby Cube. Oh my god. You know, there comes a point in time in a series where they always have to just introduce a baby character or something. Baby Yoda. Baby Cube. And he sings too. Like, come on, if this isn't the most, like, marketable plush for children ever, I don't know what is. The only downfall of that is they made it for a show that isn't for kids. And also, it's for a show that was made 14 years ago, so nobody's gonna watch it either. We sold! Better go back to collabing with horses or whatever. Yes, that's real. I'm not lying. So after whatever that was, Madoka has a flashback about what her wish might have been about. And then we get introduced to not Homura. They didn't say her name. I would have wrote it down if they did. They didn't say it. I don't know who this is. Whatever. Anyway, not Homura does exactly what Homura would have done in this setting. Saves her, talks in cryptics, and is kind of just a huge dick. She talks about how did you find this place? Why are you here? Hunting out of your territory is strictly forbidden. And also, I'd like to bring up that word, territory. Obviously, in this city or this part of the world now, being a magical girl is a little more reformed. There's some system in place to it. I mean, territory? This is a bit of a foreign concept to us. Now, going backwards, obviously we know that Mitakihara City was being watched by Mommy, but she never exclusively said it was her territory. And quite frankly, Mommy was actually quite welcome to having magical girls assist her, as long as they had righteous intent. Now, I do believe Kyoko also does say the word territory, so it's good that we're still using the same dialect here. You know, we haven't forgotten where we came from. I kind of like that. Now, she gives them a warning, and she's like, why are you here? And other not Homura tells us,
We didn't mean to.
I want to be saved. I came all the way to Kamihama. I want to be free.
Well, I had a dream. She's like, oh, that's how the rumor started? Brother, get a load of this guy. And she informs us that there's actually a ton of witches in Kamihama City.
Yeah, I've heard that rumor before. But I'm sure you've realized by now, there are far more witches here. Stronger witches.
That this place actually sucks, and it's essentially like Hyrule Castle in Breath of the Wild. There's just enemies everywhere, and they're the hardest in the game. Now, Not Madoka makes a comment that her attacks didn't have any effect on the witch, but Not Homura was able to take it out pretty easily. So, apparently, there's some sort of power scaling here, some region scaling. You know, she's all the way from Limgrave, now we're in Caelid. You know, we're seeing the difference in escalation here, you know? She was brought up in this city, and so she's learned to adapt to it. You know, be hardened by it. And that's kind of interesting to me. It gives better world building, and that's one thing I've heard about, you know, Magia Record. It expands the world. Is it in a good way? We're just gonna have to see. But you know, the world is expanding. We have baby Cube now, not baby. We have baby Cube now. You know, we're moving somewhere. We're moving in some kind of direction. Something's happening here. Now, Not Homura warns them to never return. She gracefully gives them 2 grief seeds for their trouble and sends them on their way.
Here, take these for your trouble. But go home, and stay away from Kamihama City.
But she also makes a threat, demanding that if any other magical girls come to Kamihama City, she won't take kindly to it. Essentially, she's initiating a challenge here.
I don't intend to allow any more magical girls in Kamihama. And if they still decide to come here, they'll be considered enemies.
She's entering PvP. It's being turned on as we speak. And this is interesting to me, because it was such a taboo, something so jarring, so shocking in Madoka Magica. I mean, the concept of magical girls fighting each other, it was obviously not something to be taken lightly. I mean, sure, it did happen quite often with Kyoko, but each time, all of us could tell that this just wasn't the right thing. I mean, the episode is literally just called This Just Can't Be Right. Like, come on, it couldn't have been more in your face that obviously it's taboo. But here it is, slipped in so casually. We don't even get an intense, like after she says it. She just says it. It just is. It's almost as if we're adapting to a new normal now. A new system is in place. Magical girls have territories, and if you can't respect those territories, well, you're gonna get killed. This is interesting, because it's separating itself while still staying true to where we came from. I like it. I like it a little bit. Now, after we see a wall of wishes off of what multiple magical girls made their wish for, something that I will plan on actually, like, reading later, but, you know, for a different day. We can see that Not Madoka is actually starting to remember her wish a little. Apparently, Not Madoka had a twin sister. Big shock, I couldn't tell by, you know, the half-empty room. You know, that wasn't a dead giveaway or anything. So, now I'm kind of wondering, so like they set up at the start, it's like, oh, what was my wish? I can't remember. And then at the end of the episode, she's literally like, oh yeah, I wished for my mom and my sister. That was fast. I feel like everything's moving like way faster than I expect. You know, they're dragging nothing out right now. Like, oh, we need to go to Kamihama City. That's where magical girls are saved. And then they're just like there within the same conversation. Oh, what was my wish? And then like 5 minutes later, we just know what it is. Like, okay. I feel like we're gonna run out of plot if we keep moving at this pace, or either that or we're gonna get too breakneck, but whatever, man. I don't write it. Maybe I should write it though. Just saying. Hit me up. You know where to reach me. Just before leaving, Not Madoka asks about the Bebe Cube that she hallucinated, to which Not Homura says that
there is no Cube in Kamihama now.
There isn't?
And that was quite possibly the most interesting thing of them all to me. No Cube? Wow. Well, that's just peculiar. There's no Cube to instigate, incite, or deceive. them here. No Cubase to enforce laws. No Cubase to enforce making contracts. No Cubase to collect grief seeds. How can this be? There's witches running rampant. I mean, essentially, we're in Arkham City right now. Or maybe that's exactly what's happening. There's no Cubase here, so there's no one maintaining order, no one giving information. They have no kiosk. They only have each other in this moment. And they can only know as much as they know. So how do these magical girls get to this city if there's no Cubase to make a contract with them within the city? Is there only a few elite in there? Or have they simply all been flooding in through... Have they simply all been coming through from immigration? This is interesting. And then the line goes as follows. Our grief seeds are being collected somewhere else. If that doesn't prove a little bit of a point that I had on track 3, I don't know what does. I don't know what does. I'm just saying. Now, obviously, we're a little far from what we originally came from, but we're still in our roots, because as Madoka is having this dream sequence, she can see all of the magical girls that are on their, solemn march over to Kamihana City, and they keep ushering these selfish desires.
I'm going to go there and be saved. I'll take the night train that no one else knows about. I'm going to go there and be saved. Twice my life for everyone else. By the others who need
Let's go to Kamihana. Let's go to Kamihana. Before I have to save the others, make it there, we will surely be saved.
I want to be saved. I don't want to fight for others anymore. Me, myself, and I. So, right there, we still have a desire between selfishness and selflessness. That is exactly what the first one was all about. That and relationships. So we haven't quite lost the sauce yet. And I like that. This was a strong start. Between the beautiful animation, the good landscape. I don't know about the character design. We're falling a little flat on that one. Oh, and also, I don't know half of their names. But we still have our message as well. So we're still here. We're still in the game. Madoka's back. Not Madoka. Not Madoka is back. That's his back. We can get actual Madoka. That's fine though. That's fine. And so the episode concludes with our outro as the intro, and let's just see if it's slick. I mean, we have a lot of comparison from the first one. It's still maintaining that sort of line art, low color. It's still pretty sweet and innocent, but not much happened. We get a flash to a ton of characters, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh boy, that's a lot of people that I don't know. And so suddenly I'm realizing that in Magia Zedra, all of those magical girls aren't just nobody. They actually are somebody. Woo! I hope Ashley Taylor is here. That'd be pretty cool. Kirika Kier? If Kirika Kier is in Magia Record, that might just save it for me. If Kirika Kier is there. Alright, let's keep watching this intro. Oh my god! Ah! It's the people we actually know! It's the Holy Continent! I didn't think it was possible that we could actually have good characters here! Oh my god! Holy guys, in the intro, for literally maybe 20 frames, we got teased that it's them! Wow! Oh my god, it's a crazy world we live in. Now, right away, I have to just talk about how, atrocious this lineup is. I mean, are we serious? We have Mommy and Kyoko at the, most front point, and these are the two characters who matter the least. That's a harsh way of putting it, but between, no screen time, hardly any character arc, we're putting those two in front. Sayaka has 60% of herself even on frame. And she's arguably the main character of the first show. She has like 8 episodes dedicated to just her. And we're getting side, and then we have the literal main character right here. Her face isn't even drawn. Look at that! Not to mention Homura is also in the back. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less from her. But like, she's not even aura farming! Is this even Homura? Like, the Homura I know would be standing right here, like with her hair blowing under the wind, only like slightly under the moon. Like, yeah, I get it, Madoka's right there, she wants to sit next to her, but like, come on, man. What even is this? I can't even be happy about what I'm supposed to be happy about. Whatever. Let's just keep the intro rolling. What the f*** am I looking at? This is like Pop Team Epic? I mean, hey, at least they kept up the little fan art at the end of the episodes, you know? I did like that. Did you even say that they did that in the remake? Although, like, I really have to ask, like, what's their process of actually choosing, like, who gets elected for this? Because it seems like they choose, like, a really wide range of, like, possible, like, you know, art styles and, like, kind of drawing formats. Like, usually they get a drawing that kind of, like, pertains to the episode at the very least. But, like, I really do wonder what makes them selected. Also, have you, like, seen that one donut with, like, Sayaka and Kyoko in the donut? Who drew that? Who drew that? Who made that past HR? Who okayed that, actually? See what I mean? They feed into it. They literally feed into it. There's a cycle. I have a track that's coming up. I'm gonna call it like Magia Cycle or something. Because literally, there's literally like a life and death like food chain cycle to Madoka Magica. Like not even like in the show, like the show like itself, like a literal thing. Like it goes through like a cycle in real life with like human beings. Eh, whatever. Pop Team Epic, I guess. And so, that concludes our recap of the first episode of Magia Record. Have you heard that rumor about magical girls? In the Magia Records. I want to thank you all for coming and joining Album 2 here, because, I mean, hey, it's getting me to do something that I didn't think I would do, but hopefully it'll be a good journey. And I'm glad you're all taking it with me. And of course, happy holiday. Yeah. Although, while I was watching it, there is one thing that I didn't quite get. Oh well. I mean, I guess in the end, no one knows our record.